How's it, guys? We're back here with another episode of the Lockdown Lowdown, coming to you from self-isolation in Linden. Today we have a really cool and alternative guest in Morgan Price. He is the owner of Seven Sins, a very different type of barbershop. It's modeled after his own mindset and what he wants to bring to this type of industry. It is a very cool place. I haven't had the opportunity yet to be inside it, but as soon as lockdown is done, I will be there to go get a nice fade and neaten up my hair for my mom to see me that I've survived the lockdown. But yeah, we're here today just to talk to Morgan about all things Seven Sins and his take on the lockdown. So thanks so much for coming, for being on the show rather.
Only a pleasure. It's cool.
That's brilliant, man. I just want to ask you a few questions, Morgan. So like, how did you get into this whole idea of Seven Sins, starting a barbershop with a lot of attitude, right? Like it definitely has something that is from just being outside it, like I explained to you before when I was in Greenside, it definitely has a tangible attitude, like a culture within it.
Okay, firstly, we describe it more as a studio. I feel like the word barbershop has become really overplayed, overused, and unfortunately, it's become almost a means of exploitation for people who are in the industry. Guys who've got a lot of money, often not barbers, are opening up barbershops and using them as sort of side hustles and passive forms of income and so on. So I prefer the word studio.
My apologies.
Totally understand your... No, none needed. Purely because I like the word studio because, you get photographic studio, you get artistic studio, you get hair studios, makeup studios. So what I'm getting at is it's an environment that is solely for creative thinking, doing whatever it is. How it came to be was, I suppose I was just really tired of being in cookie cutter, sort of copy paste, Pinterest style spaces. And I just thought of going with more of a less is more approach, which is also a bit juxtaposition to how we perceive things in the Western world. So there's a lot of space. There isn't a whole lot going on, but there's a whole lot going on at the same time. I think between myself and my partner Seb, we have enough attitude to fill the space and sort of keep it vibrant and just an atmosphere that I hope a lot of like-minded, out-of-the-box thinkers want to be in.
And I think that's a really good point today. I think we're always seeking an experience, right? Like there needs to be an extra reason why we go into a place, and your studio is there to assist people in their overall look and style, but it's also like being in that environment, you can meet someone that's super creative that can make you think in a different way. And I think I really think you picked a good location in Greenside. It definitely speaks to that, especially the old Greenside, like when it was back in the day. Definitely incorporates that. So I do hope Seven Sins can play its part in reviving that area.
Both. That's what we're there to do, and to also just hopefully build a community around the brand that is Seven Sins, because I'm very much that way inclined. I mean, we do live in a world where every man is for themselves, but at the same time, there's no way I would be where I was where I am now if it wasn't for other people, and that's all because of community. And I mean, we touched on tribalism prior to tapping the record button, but like I wouldn't be where I am now without communities that I've fortunately been involved in up until now. So I'd really like to try and have it as a sort of gathering space for people.
I think that's really profound, especially in the time that we're in with COVID-19 and how we've almost we are isolating ourselves from our communities, right? So it's played a massive role in for you to get to where you are with your business. So now, how do you see COVID-19 affecting your business if you can't be in that
It's a tough one to. Well, I mean, we're essentially out of work at the moment because we can't work in the space. There is this sort of government-imposed lockdown and so on. In regards to sort of future effects, I'm not 100% sure. I mean, I think the hustle is just going to have to be a whole lot harder.
Yeah.
But that's okay. Like, I'm definitely not afraid of hard work. Like, I do come from a more or less blue-collar family background, so hard work I'm definitely not shy of. But right now, I mean, we're literally without income and stuff, and we are using digital platforms like Instagram to try and sort of run competitions and promotions. We're running a raffle at the moment.
Brilliant.
For people who enter, they'll win various prizes. There's a first, second, and third for men and women. But aside from that, there's nothing we can really do right now. I mean, I could take the risk and do sort of home haircuts and so on, but I don't want to sort of. I do see that as almost. It's blatant disregard for everyone else's health and safety, which obviously I want to respect that as much as I can. But I also feel sort of home services are a little bit diminishing towards the industry as a whole, and I don't want to be a person who does that, because I think stylists generally aren't taken seriously enough. So I don't want to go and further add to that, you know.
Well, no, I think it's a fair point. You definitely need to consider the lockdown as what it is meant to do. But I understand. I think doing like a competition or a raffle is a great idea, just to be top of mind with your followers and to make them know that, you know, Seven Sins may be closed, but we're not going away, because I think that's the power of content now. And that's how you guys can decide to do it. I mean, have you seen anything online that you really like, that you think you could replicate for your guys' brand?
See, now I saw that question and I got a little bit nervous. So I've used this period of time to actually stay off sort of online and social media as best I can. A bit of a detox, a bit of a cleanse.
Nothing wrong with that.
I really think social media is important, especially within our game, because it is so visual. I mean, how do you know a haircut is good? You assess with your eyes. You know, that's the appeal, is it's all visual, and therefore social media, and more so the likes of Instagram, are so very important. However, unfortunately, in light of COVID-19 and just the constant barrage of information that we are getting, and I wouldn't say I'm a skeptical person, but I have a serious mistrust towards media, information outlets, and where the information comes from. And because of that part of my personality, I have tried to stay with social media as even more of a motivation, purely because there's a lot of negativity spiraling around, and it's all out there. It's just tumbleweeds of information. We don't know where a lot of this information comes from. I'm not about to get on a Donald Trump hashtag fake news rant, but you know, it's relevant.
It is a really valid opinion, because I think we do end up living in a bit of an echo chamber with regards to the content that we hear. But I think two things that you said were really cool is that you're taking a detox away from it, which is quite cool to hear, because I think there's two options to go right now in this lockdown. Is either you stay away from it, or you completely engross yourself in this contraption and you just, you know, you're fully involved in everything without being there. So like for us as a digital agency, that's obviously what our direction is, to get people engaged and get them to want to like have conversations. And I think that's why we created the Lockdown Lowdown, is so we could have conversations of difference of opinion, right? So like, I mean, I appreciate hearing that in this time, because I know for a fact there's going to be someone that disagrees with that, but that's the whole point of being able to like voice our opinions and use these platforms to share our thoughts. So I think it's great. I mean, I personally, ironically, I'm orchestrating this, but I'm not the biggest social media person either. So, I mean, I need it when I need to, but other than that, I try to stick away from it. And I just think, I mean, the trend now is it's completely, I mean, all the eyes are on screens at the moment. So it's a huge opportunity to take an advantage of if you use it correctly, right? So this is maybe what I want to pose to you is, if you could, how would you get 7 Sins to help the current coronavirus situation? Like, what would you guys offer as like a service? If you could go out and do anything, like, would you give, I know there was that viral video of a guy, I think it was in London, a barber or hairstylist who would go and like cut homeless people's hair. I'm sure you've
I think that was Australia.
Was it Australia?
London as well. Who knows, man? Look, I think if someone in London did it, then definitely someone would have cottoned on in Australia to do the same thing, to hopefully get the same sort of viral status. So it doesn't really matter. I suppose it's tough. Because, I mean, there's nothing world-changing about what we do. That being said, I mean, our price point at 7 Sins is pretty high in regards to like overall industry, and not a lot of people understand it. But I would oppose that by saying I don't think you know what a truly good haircut does for you in regards to your confidence. And if your confidence is boosted, your emotional status will be heightened. Your levels of oxytocin, which is basically that feel-good hormone, very similar to serotonin, all of those will be elevated. And I suppose that's what we would do. We would just try and find a way to assist people in feeling better about themselves in this situation where we aren't feeling that great, because maybe we do have the phone stuck to our hand and we're focusing on a lot of the net surrounding it, and COVID numbers are up by X percentage and so on, and all of that stuff. So I suppose what would be great is if we could offer a service to just, even if it was like blow drying your lady's hair, or me coming to you to give you a shave, and like when you are freshly shaven, that sort of clean, clear feel. You feel better about yourself.
I 100% agree. I'm missing. Like I think that's such a cool thing to say. It's confidence, and I've never thought of it. Yeah, those little toughs, those guys that are they're coming out of the side there. I've never ever heard of someone describe a haircut with the chemical compounds in the brain, and I think that is so cool, man. Morgan, that was insightful. I dug that.
I podcast a lot, so I pick up little bits of information about a whole lot of things. So I suppose now's a good time to use it. But I mean, like, there's definitely something to be said about just, it's not even about vanity, man. It's just about making yourself feel better, whether it's, I don't know, running or lifting weights or eating well or having a really good, well orchestrated haircut that's been planned. There's a level of sort of broader perception, and this isn't just a haircut. This is something that will define the rest of your day, in the sense of, I don't want you to be faffing with your hair for 5 minutes now. I'd rather you feel like you look the best you have in a long time. Only taking you 30 take coffee, meditate, read a book. Like, you can do something else to like further and better yourself. So, and that's why I think a haircut is so important, is because you can feel amazing. It won't take a lot of time in order to put it together, and you'll have so much other time, because time is a commodity and it's one that we can't buy. You'll have so much more time in the day to pursue other wants or loves or whatever.
Yeah, I think it does go beyond just being a haircut, because like you said, it gives you availability to focus on more things. I think it's like what you're discussing is the transformation from your top through to your mind, through to your heart, through to your body down. And it starts with the hair, right? It starts with the first thing that someone's going to move in the morning. So I'm definitely, get me a booking when you guys are open. Yep. I will be there. I will be there to feel more confident after this process. But just going on to what you just said now, what is your morning routine in lockdown? Like, what do you do to stay fresh of mind and focused?
So we spoke about it earlier. Like, I'm an early riser, so I'm typically, I'd say 80% of the week I'm up at about 4. I'll put a pot of coffee on the stove. I'll meditate. I'll drink that cup of coffee and enjoy a book. I'll then probably do something that's movement orientated. So I'll work out to a certain extent, be it weights or just sort of high intensity stuff with body weights. Do some yoga. When walking, my neighbors think I'm fucking crazy because I've been walking kilometers around like the sort of.
You're doing a security check. You're checking the perimeter.
That one. And yeah, I'll just be spending a lot of time reading, upskilling. I recently did like a really short basic photography course, which I hope will help in regards to content creation for social media in future. And also just online hair tutorials and stuff. There's so much stuff out there that we can use to upskill and better ourselves on a daily basis. And I mean, now's the perfect time. If you aren't, I mean, I know that you're in a position where you're working right now, but I work with my hands. I can't cut your hair digitally, and sure, when I've got idle hands, I get up to mischief. So it's best
they can't trench through the pixel. They can't go through the screen.
Basically, yeah, unfortunately not. We haven't quite got there yet. Tech hasn't quite got there.
Waiting for the science to catch up with the capabilities of cutting someone's hair through a screen.
Yeah, absolutely. But yeah, that's my morning routine. It's usually early rise, meditation, reading, coffee is a must. And then but during that time, I do try to stay away from my phone for a good 30 minutes minimum upon waking.
Yeah, I think that's a good lesson for everyone. Yeah, because I think too many of us wake up, first thing we do is check our phones, and then we already transcended to that world when we're not actually taking that inner or that time to focus on it in ourselves, which you clearly are doing a very good job of at 4 a.m. I don't know if all of our listeners will be up for that, but maybe it's something good to try in the Lockdown Lowdown, is getting out of your comfort zone, and doing different things. I just want to say thanks so much for being on the Lockdown Lowdown, Morgan. Just regarding your guys' business, where can people find you, and where can they get involved in this raffle if they want to win some awesome prizes?
So all the information is put up on our Instagram page, which is 7 Sins, numericals 7 Sins with a double underscore. And then our website is also 7 Sins, numericals 7 Sins.coza. 7 Sins as in the movie 7 with Brad Pitt, Morgan Freeman, and I think that nut job Kevin Spacey. But can I just, you send me a list of questions. And I hope this doesn't interfere with the interview.
No, not at all.
The motivational quote.
Yeah, please.
I find life happens outside of the comfort zone, so get out of it.
Yeah.
Like that's literally what I live by. If we are going to close off, I'd like to close off on that.
Would you put that on the back of a Hewlett sugar packet?
Yeah, absolutely. In a heartbeat. Fuck, I'd tattoo that on my face.
Would that be the first thing you do after lockdown?
That appointment. Angus, thank you so much. And it's been rad. I look forward to meeting you in person.
100%, guys. Just want to say thanks again to Morgan for being on the Lockdown Lowdown. For everyone listening, we do hope the internet quality does not interfere with the quality conversation I just shared with Morgan over here. He discussed the element of community as a solid foundation for why he started what he started. And I think that's true for every business. We need to find a community of people that work in the same vibe and in our tribe to, really get our goals and our objectives aligned. And I have to say, you're the first one the science behind the haircut. I will always remember that. So guys, when you're ready, when you're out of the lockdown, I highly suggest going to 7 Sins to get your confidence levels back up. I'll see you guys at the next episode. Cheers.
Thank you very much, man. Ciao.